This week, University Honors is hosting a symposium which is allowing students to present their research from the semester. Federal taxes can be daunting for students already busy with final exams. Luckily for UAA students, the secret to unlocking the tax mystery is right inside this building. In the last year alone, 7 new clubs have been formed. Today at the Student Union, those clubs were on display at the Student Involvement Fair. UAA's governing bodies are hoping to avoid that definition with this new registration system.
Good afternoon and welcome to KUAA. I'm Andrew DeLuce.
And I'm Shana Roberson. This Tuesday, UAA hosted 2 elections. The Hollywood big screen is making a big impression on Alaska this year. Thanks, Stephanie. After the break, we'll hear from Kimkoa with sports and ways to distress for less. And the UAA community is mourning the death of 2 fellow seawolves this afternoon. Clear skies and warmer temperatures mark the end of the Iditarod this year. Stephanie, what else can we expect for weather this week? The makers of the popular hair straightening solution Brazilian Blowout are under investigation by the Federal Drug Administration, and Proposition 5 for Parks and Recreation was also turned down by voters.
I have faced harassment and discrimination in the workplace, been denied housing when I was otherwise qualified, and refused medical care because of who I am.
The University of Alaska Board of Regents heard public testimony today that varied from personal stories of discrimination to challenges to the board.
One day, some 20 years or so hence, a son or granddaughter will query you in the naive confusion as to how it could have ever been the case that people were abused and denied protections just because how they were born or who they loved.
Fowler challenged the board, saying it was up to them to do the right thing. Some of those who testified said the amendment was long overdue.
I mean, over 300 universities around the country have already included sexual orientation in their policy along with gender identity, so I think this is something that University of Alaska needs to incorporate as soon as possible.
After 2 days of testimony, the board took only 10 minutes to discuss and approve the motion. UA President Pat Gamble said the motion would generate positive energy and goodwill around the university. The motion passed with only 2 dissenting votes, those of Board Chairman Fuller Cowell and Regent Kenneth Fisher. Fisher said adding another protected class was in conflict to the state constitution, which already calls for everyone to be afforded equal rights and protection.
Yeah, I strongly urge the Board of Regents to include gender identity as well as sexual orientation in their non-discrimination policy, not only because it will protect transgender students, but all students who might present differently because of the way that they look.
Many of those who testified also advocated adding gender identity as a protected class.
When I was born, the doctors took one look at me and declared that I was a girl, and my parents named me Ann Gordon. But for as long as I can remember, I have felt like a boy, acted like a boy, dressed like a boy, wanted to hang out with the boys.
Phoenix says he will continue to fight until transgendered individuals are added to the anti-discrimination policy as well. For KUAA News, I'm Shana Roberson.
Each semester, thousands of students try to register for classes here at UAA, only to find long delays and server crashes. But this semester, UAA has tried to fix that with the new registration system.
10,000 seats filled in 90 minutes. That's what caused the server to crash last semester as students were trying to register for classes. It is a frustration many students know well.
I was on at midnight, logged on, registered for all of my classes, and then the whole thing shut down like as soon as I hit the submit classes button.
The story Adams describes is one that caught the attention of USUAA, the university's student governing body.
Every student here on UAA campus, more or less, at 12:01 goes to log into UA Online, and the system just either freezes, crashes, doesn't log you in completely at all.
Brooks worked with Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Bruce Schultz, to come up with a new registration system. The system is designed to give students who have a specific graduation requirement priority over lowerclassmen who often have more options.
I don't really think it'll affect me that much because, I mean, I'm still taking like general education requirements, and I think a lot of like upperclassmen are probably all done with those, so I don't think I should have a problem.
Most students are simply happy they might be able to avoid server crashes.
I think that's a great idea to kind of stagger it, because the idea of having everyone get online at the same time to register, I mean, they've pretty much proven that that doesn't work, and it's just frustrating. They keep trying to do the same thing over and over again. Isn't that the definition of insanity?
UAA's governing bodies are hoping to avoid that definition with this new registration system. For KUAA, I'm Shana Roberson. UAA Student Life and Leadership estimates the number of student clubs on campus is on the rise. In the last year alone, 7 new clubs have been formed. Today at the Student Union, those clubs were on display at the Student Involvement Fair.
In this room alone, there are 25 clubs set up to get students involved. The booths are like a virtual menu of activities for students to pick what best suits their appetite.
It's a good venue to look at all of the different activities that they do have on campus, because a lot of them, like, I was not even aware that we have. The Native Student Council, down there's a sustainability, just different ones like that. There's like, that is cool.
Davis is a member of one club who has set up a table at the event, the Justice Club.
We do a lot of good stuff. We go tour different kinds of correctional facilities, and also like the crime lab and different stuff that pertain to the justice field. But anyone's welcome to join, even if you're not legal or going to go into any kind of law or justice.
One of the newest clubs at the fair had a name that implied otherwise. Cartwright started the club last semester to help veterans transition to civilian life. She also wanted to bridge the gap between veterans and students. But these clubs cannot escape the reality of who their potential members may be.
I'm on campus today. I have class. As long as my theater teacher didn't see this, I skipped.
For busy students like Davis, getting involved is as simple as stopping in the Student Life office upstairs in the Student Union. For KUAA News, I'm Shana Roberson.
Well, that'll do it for KUAA News. I'm Shana Roberson. Well, that's it for today's broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Shana Roberson.
And I'm Andrew DeLuce. Have a great day.